So this is our presentation on the influence of tobacco and nicotine advertising on teens. By me, Jake McCreary,
Judah Pierre,
Marco Mignoni,
and JW Ones.
So there has been an alarming rise in tobacco product usage among youth since around 2011. And this is primarily in e-cigarettes. Many researchers have connected this to a lot of money spent on advertising and promotion, mostly to cater to the younger audience. In fact, in the first half of 2019, Juul, which is a popular e-cigarette company, spent nearly $104 million alone on marketing. This is from Fielding Seeing et al. 2020, who did a research about marketing in tobacco and nicotine. And in this graph, you can clearly see how the rise of money spent on marketing is also mirrored by the rise in popularity with youth. So what is this money spent on? Research that we found shows that this money is spent on images and flavors to appeal to younger audiences. So you can see that there's fruit flavors or cartoon images that make it more appealing to younger people and make them more susceptible to influence. We need to address this because tobacco is very dangerous for youth and it can form harmful addictions that can damage their developing minds. And there are different ways that we can stop this, and in this presentation we will show two solutions, like having laws and regulations and having education and raising awareness for teens. So we'll start with that.
Okay, so this is our first solution, laws and regulation. So I'm going to start us off with the quote said by Papatino and his colleagues in 2020. As any form of tobacco use is unsafe for youth, this is observed effect of tobacco on related behaviors highlights the need for stricter regulation of e-cigarette advertising and the more rigorous enforcement of existing traditional tobacco marketing regulations. So the way tobacco advertising influences behavior highlights the stricter regulations on e-cigarette marketing, as well as a stronger enforcement on existing laws for traditional tobacco and smoking. However, though, creating these laws and passing them is a very hard task. It takes a lot of time, a lot of money, and representatives need to be able to gather support and votes to make these changes go into action. But despite these challenges, stricter laws could have a big impact by limiting how tobacco companies could target young people. We can reduce exposure to these harmful products and protect teens from starting dangerous habits and lifelong addictions. So this chart on the screen shows youth vaping from 2011 to 2020 and reveals how rapidly e-cigarette sales and marketing had expanded. So in 2019, new flavors, products, and brands like Juul made vaping especially appealing to teens when they came out, driving the market to actually over $10 billion. However, once laws such as flavor bans and age restrictions were put in place, the use actually began to go on a decline. And this shows how effective regulation can be. So using the same approach for advertising by restricting to how and to whom these products are marketed to could further reduce our youth exposure and prevent future surges in addiction.
Solution 2, educating the youth and raising awareness. Firstly, there should be programs implemented into the school system that explain health effects and marketing tactics. If done properly, this would enforce tobacco and nicotine products as a bad thing, drawing way more people away from them, specifically teens. Second, reach the audience through social media. According to a survey done by Pew Research Center, around 90% of teens use some form of social media, including Snapchat, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. Using famous influencers to raise awareness to the youth would significantly help this issue. A third way to raise awareness could be using peer-led campaigns where students teach other students about nicotine and tobacco addictions and how to prevent them. Next, there are limitations to this. Firstly, information doesn't always change behavior due to deeply ingrained roots. Some of these could be previous addictions or parental influence. Secondly, the youth extremely underestimates addiction risk and probably won't care as much. Lastly, it will cost a lot to fund the prevention of addiction. Sponsors, teachers, and presentations are a lot for schools to handle financially.
And then comparing the solutions. Both these solutions aim to reduce youth exposure to tobacco advertising, but they take very different approaches. Solution 1 is to enforce stricter laws and regulations. This would definitely limit marketing to minors. It could effectively prevent companies from targeting young audiences, but this process takes a long time and it requires political agreement. It also could face pushback from the tobacco industry. Solution 2 is doing education and awareness campaigns. This focuses on reaching the youth directly by teaching students about the risks and manipulative marketing tactics, and it empowers them to make informed decisions. This can be implemented more quickly and is adapted to schools and social media. And then, of course, which solution is better? Overall, we decided that educating and raising awareness among the youth is the stronger solution. It has the fastest impact, it builds long-term preparation habits, and it doesn't rely on legislative measures. While laws are important, education helps create a generation that is aware and resistant to tobacco marketing, addressing the issue from the ground up. Education also complements future policy efforts by creating public support for stricter laws. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you.